So Clement is an ex-Google, ex-Facebook software engineer and 25-year-old CEO of the service Algo Expert. And he posted a YouTube video of his New Year's resolutions, and it kind of got me thinking about what my YouTube resolutions might be as somebody who really does look up to him. He really is a great example of what I eventually want to be. Go work for some awesome companies and then go off and do my own thing. Like, I literally could not write my own story better than he has already enacted it. So having recently completed my DIY data science journey where I did my first deep dive into kind of a subsect of software engineering, what are my New Year's resolutions for 2021 and where do I plan on taking my computer science development? My name is Alex Bianchi, and on this YouTube channel I document my learning journey as a programmer. So if you're interested, if you want to come along for the ride, if you want my videos about learning resources and curriculums for self-taught programmers, or my experiences with the university system majoring in computer science, and please be sure to subscribe. And if you get inspired by any of these New Year's resolutions that you might want to incorporate into your own goals, then leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And while you're down there, don't forget to smash the like button. That was a solid beg for interaction with this video. So you just have to now. You have to comment down below. You're legally obligated because I said that in one take. So the first New Year's resolution that I have is to do more experimentation. I want to get to know different aspects of software engineering before I commit to one for my career. And I know no commitment is final, but as a first-year university student, I know I have a little bit of time ahead of me where I can really experiment. And I want to be careful. I don't want to become a jack of all trades, master of none, and really have no specialized skill in programming. My understanding is that it's better to be really good in one thing than average at a bunch of things. But I really do think that while I'm in this early learning process, spending a few weeks doing a deep dive onto front-end, back-end web development, data science, as I recently did with my DIY data science series, that it is a good way to experiment and see what you like. I have a rough idea of things I want to experiment with. I know for sure web development, I want to program an app, I want to experiment with game development a little bit. I don't want to like make a game because that's like a big undertaking, but I definitely want to have a better understanding of how it works. And overall, I want to improve as a programmer with data structures and algorithms, but that's going to be more of an overarching story because you really do need those for those interviews. I can explain my first semester of college kind of like one of those coins that you throw into the funnel where at the top it's really wild and it's going all over the place and there's no idea where it's going to end up. And now I kind of feel like I'm in the middle intermediate part of the funnel where I'm like, okay, software engineering, computer science / data science, because they're like kind of different things but very related, and that's where I'm at, intermediate level. Now where do I go from here? And that's what the experimentation is going to try and reveal. And again, I'm going to be documenting that entire journey on this YouTube channel, so subscribe if you want to see it. New Year's resolution number 2, it also has to do with programming, and it is personal projects. Right now, my resume is super wimpy in the project section. I have some projects on there that were semi-tutorials, my own code, and really it's kind of wimpy, and it's definitely not good enough to get me a decent internship. It's borderline disingenuous, but I think I'm in the clear with what I have down. And I want to abandon that. I want to get rid of those 4 projects with my own personal, from the ground up, more complex projects that are impressive to show a recruiter or a company like Fang. Right now, going into web development with my next kind of experiment, I think I want to work on a productivity app because I'm really dissatisfied with Google Keep. Well, I love Google Keep. Just for productivity, it works, but it could be better if it was specialized for that. Microsoft To Do is okay, and it pairs with the Outlook, but it's kind of clunky, and it's not perfect. Google Calendar is pretty good. I'm pretty good with Google Calendar, but again, it's not perfect. I'm not necessarily trying to do a full calendar app, but I definitely want a better task manager. And I think it would be a great project. It seems relatively simple. I guess those are everyone's last words though, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But I could also really see myself diving into it and making it as good as possible because, again, I want that perfect task manager. And I really want to come back to machine learning and artificial intelligence, but I think that project is going to be better suited, A, once I have a better overall programming background so that I can actually apply something that I learn, and B, once I take some basic introductory math classes at university next semester. So I don't know when this video is going to come out. Hopefully it's after the I kind of failed at my machine learning projects videos, which is it's a sad situation, but it happens. And yeah, so I definitely want to go back to those. I spent a lot of time in the past 5 weeks learning every single day machine learning and data science. So I know I have the foundation there. I just need to work on a couple of the things that are complementary to it, and then I'll be able to come up with something good. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because whenever I say something like that, like, oh, I'll do it then, I'm always cognizant of, well, can I do it now? And I'm like, no, I think this makes sense. But do you think I'm being a lazy piece of shit? Leave a comment down below. Just do it! The next resolution is not directly tied to programming, although it is tied to this YouTube channel, and that is I want 1,000 subscribers, god damn it. I made my YouTube channel around this time last year, and when COVID hit, I took a fair break, diving into work and then preparing for university. So as of recording this, I have a cumulative 6 or so months on YouTube of what I would say is substantial posting. There were a couple videos here and there, but the momentum was down and it wasn't anything real. So a good rule of thumb that I seem to find online is 1 year to reach 1,000 subscribers, and then another year or 2 to reach 10,000 subscribers, because the growth is supposedly, hopefully, exponential in some way. And reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and hopefully 40,000 watch hours so that I can get monetized would be awesome. It would kind of legitimize all the work that I've put into this YouTube channel for me. Like 1,000, 4 figures. It's a small number. It's such a small number, but it's a number. It's a number where they don't show how many subscribers you have down to the first digit. It's a number with a K. It's just it's something. And kind of keeping in line with that legitimizing all the work that I've been putting in concept, I want to get my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. This is a New Year's resolution that is completely unrelated to this channel and programming, but it is one of them, so I'm going to put it in here. And the reason I want my blue belt is because currently I'm a white belt. And jiu-jitsu isn't like karate or some other random martial arts where you get a belt after your first like 2 weeks. You really have to work for your blue belt. But once you become a blue belt, again, so I've heard, it is something. It is a color. You are not a white belt. You're kind of in the club, and I feel like I'm in the club now. Like, I'm really friendly with all the guys that I train with, but I've really been putting in a lot of work. I've been going a lot, like 7, 8 times a week. So I should be able to do it within the year of blue belt. I don't even think it'll take me a year, but yeah, definitely want my blue belt, because once you're a blue belt, again, you're a color. It goes blue, purple, brown, black. So there's not that many tiers. I don't have to climb 15 different belt colors. I just need to go from 0 to 1. The final New Year's resolution that I have on my list is to finally get one of those juicy internships. And this is funny because I don't actually expect it to happen in 2021. There's a chance it happens. Like, maybe I wind up somehow teaching myself enough data structures and algorithms to pass the coding interview, because I could not pass a coding interview right now, and getting that interview, knowing enough to pass the interview, and then having it all work out to my schedule. Like, it is some hoops to jump through to happen this summer, because again, it's kind of happening a little late. I didn't join computer science as a major early enough to have applied to those big internships or have been preparing for the internship interviews for that long. But towards the end of 2021, that's when the application process starts for those big Google, Facebook, Amazon, those big companies that everybody wants to intern at. And hopefully, combined with these other resolutions, with this YouTube channel, with those projects, I'll be able to hand in a resume, get an interview. I'm going to start preparing for these interviews. I've already started preparing for these interviews, and I'm not expecting for another year. I'm going to have hundreds of leak code questions under my belt. And hopefully, I'll land myself an awesome internship. And you know what? That's my goal. I have the path laid out to get there. I tend to be pretty good with reaching long-term goals, but that being said, what do you guys think? I'm going to be doing one of those react to this YouTube video a year later thing. So if I transfer out of computer science, don't make the YouTube video because I don't have a YouTube channel, don't get an internship, then obviously that would be a complete failure, but that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to do all of these things perfectly the first try. Within a month, it's going to take me 2 days to do everything. Yep, you watch it happen. Maybe that's a little bit aggressive, but please leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff helps out the channel. If you made it this far in the video, then honestly, that's the best thing that you can do for me, is watching until the end. I should say that somewhere in the beginning so that people actually get to this point, because there's like 3 people getting to this point in my videos right now. So good job, Mom and Grandma. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Peace.